And then we want to talk about how does Trusted Shops use digital coaching in general. And I'm super interested in your questions, so I hope we can have a little bit of a dialogue at least about it at some point. I would definitely enjoy that a lot. So first of all, when we started to talk to Trusted and also when we constantly develop our product, we feel learning culture at your workplace is extremely important. I can't highlight enough what Angie said today about all the stressors that we have, about being completely overwhelmed. I felt so understood by her. I felt like, please, Angie, hold me and cure me from all the kind of problems that I have in my life. And we have found that actually the culture can be enhanced from the corporate side, of course, but you can only offer so much. And then there's also reality. And people need to be motivated to, thrive themselves. Lifelong learning, great, but how and when? And is it going to be, is my corporate, is my organization supporting me? But also, do I want to take the time? And do I really want to look at what stresses me? And I think even though all of us, also you, I think was like a great talk today from Siemens, all of us, we love it. We love coaching. We want to develop. But then, do we really put in the time? Are we really self-aware during the day? Do we really take breaks? It's highly, highly individual. And here, digital tools can help, but only if they work for us. And we have kind of tried to single out a sweet spot between enhancing a learning culture, but also just creating the right offer. And the right offer needs to be scalable and digital, and all these things I wanted 24/7. Like if I'm, if it's Friday evening and I'm on my sofa and I don't want to watch The Bachelor, then maybe I want to kind of learn how to set boundaries. It has to be efficient and it can't be just for everyone. Like I don't want to have the same journey as you have setting boundaries. We are presumably a bit different, right? So it has to be efficient and flexible. It has to be digital. And of course, I need to trust it. And when and how do I build trust? If I feel the tool understands me. If he's like, Florian, I see you. This is what you want. This is what you need. And here are some tools to actually work on it. Of course, then I have to want to do it, and then I have to apply it in my everyday life. And those are all very big challenges. But there's a lot of stuff that can be done about it. So this is the part that Eve now would take, so excuse the wrong perspective since I don't work for Trusted. But Trusted, when we met them, they had actually just done a survey among their employees. And there were certain factors that they wanted to enhance on. We talked and we cooperate with the Learning and Development, I think they call it Growth and Development Department. And they had identified that they want to strengthen these skills within their team. They want to empower them. They want to enhance self-leadership. They want to enhance a lot of things. And how could they do it? First of all, the principles of their strategy were, you are the driver. We offer something, but then you take the steering wheel and you steer it. Second, start your journey and start it now. And then you should, of course, profit from interactions, because we also see a very strong communal aspect in growing together and inspiring each other and helping each other out somehow. So these were kind of the principles. And how did they define the dimensions of their learning culture? Like, how do they want to make it possible for people to do it? First of all, they came up with like three pretty smart questions. Can I learn? Can I, for example? Yes, we need to give you access. We need to provide possibilities for you. Second, do I want to learn? How open am I really to looking at myself, to grow, to implement new things, to try it out? And super important, am I allowed to learn? For example, can I use my work time to develop myself? Very, very important factors. And then what did we do and how did we do it? We, like the Onesome team, we are a highly value-driven team. So our mission is to bring coaching to as many people as possible. I'm sure I have lots of coaching colleagues here in this room and probably even more in the other room. And we don't want to be unemployed. A one-on-one coaching is the best thing, you know, exactly for the reason that you just mentioned. Empathy, want to connect, we feel understood. It's great, it's much better, but it's not very scalable in that field. We want to help hundreds or thousands of people within a team and in a company. So how do we achieve it? First of all, we make it digital and very, very approachable for everyone. And we strengthen a growth mindset. The growth mindset, I'm sure you all kind of know what that is, but kind of means I need to first of all take stock of what's there. Like what's good, what am I really good at, and where do I want to grow? I think now, for example, like the beginning of the year, we all kind of signed up for a gym membership and, you know, like we kind of improve here and there. Like we do small things and we set ourselves goals. And the same thing we wanted to implement with Trusted for as many people as possible when it came to their personal development and their learning culture. So first of all, we could provide a significant influence on the mental health in the team. How did we do that? Because our tool is very flexible and people learn to kind of identify situations that they find challenging, people that they find challenging in their team, superiors, you know, people of the team, whatever. And they start learning new ways, more flexible ways, not stuck in our thinking patterns or acting patterns, but actually to feel like now I realize I'm in that pattern and I can step out of it because I am a thinking human being. I'm not only driven by big data, right? So this has a significant influence on the mental health. It also motivates people when they feel in control. I'm steering my own wheel, you know, toot toot, kind of, I'm driving here. And if I see something that I don't like, I mention it to people. And instead of maybe quitting at some point because I feel like I don't connect to the culture anymore, I feel maybe I can address it actually with people and we can start a conversation. And for this, we need a big group of people, I think exactly as you did also at Siemens. We need a lot of people, but maybe first adapters, people who are very interested in it for kind of self-development. Very, very interesting. Of course, we also have to work on skills and competencies. And I think here, one of the biggest learnings that we have in our journeys with our clients is that actually the ability to speak about needs, to address problems, and to be a little bit more courageous in conflicts, for example, has been proven to enhance your overall well-being in general. How do we do that? Because we get people talking, like they reflect in the app, but then they come together and they exchange about the problems that they see, but always highlighting with positive psychology in mind all the things that are also good. So we get a balanced view on everything. And here we want to kind of quickly show the three components that I just mentioned, the three smart questions. Can I? Yes, you can, because you have a self-coaching app. Secondly, am I allowed? Yes, you are allowed. We give you time during your work hours to actually join the community sessions and up to 30 minutes, for example, per week to use the app just for yourself to develop new skills and kind of, you know, think through your patterns and break them. And then do I want to, and that's up to the individual. How much do I want to share? We also have a kind of peer-to-peer coaching program. We implemented a digital buddy program. People supported each other. It's not for everyone, but the ones who are highly motivated, they find exactly the space to grow exactly as they want to. And now maybe some of you think, but how can an app do that? It's super cool how it does it, actually. First of all, in our app, you identify a problem that is relevant to you. And I think here is the first tweak in the storytelling. Because with Trusted, for example, we defined a resilience building journey. You know, that was one of the kind of highlights. They wanted a more resilient team. And that's great. But how credible am I as an employee when I say, I want you to develop as long as it is in resilience? But you might just go through a divorce or I don't know what, you know, you have maybe like a totally different topic. And here I think the motivation can actually sink a little bit. So in our app, even though we have a journey with a story that is kind of developed with a corporate structure, something that the corporates want to get out of it, the app provides you with everything, with a holistic coaching approach that you use 24/7 for yourself to keep up your personal motivation to grow and grow privately as much as professionally, of course. I mean, I don't know how many of you, I don't want to do a show of hands here, but let me just say, I feel I'm the same person at work as I am privately. I'm the same person. I show different facettes of myself, but I'm still Florian, and you are still you. So I feel, why not develop in all areas of life? So I identify my concern. Let's say I can't set boundaries. I'm very much still with Angie here. Like all the emails constantly coming in and I'm completely overwhelmed. I know it's not good for myself. So I identify it and then I feel what's keeping me. Why am I still at 10 o'clock checking my emails? Is it kind of like an inner voice that says, hurry up, if you do it now, you don't have to do it tomorrow, that kind of thing. In our app, you identify the problems and the app filters all relevant content in a very structured way. It starts asking you questions and you react to the questions. This is not AI-based. I'm sure many of you ask that question. There's a hyper-complex decision tree underneath, and we have defined every journey, and the app uses your own language with you. For example, you've already said this, you've already coached yourself in that. Is that relevant here as well? So it brings up new content to make a very individual experience, even though it's 100% digital. And then you come to your pickings, to your biggest learnings. You generate insights for yourself. And the app stores them in a kind of Instagrammable way where you can just kind of scroll through everything that you've already generated. And you feel like, I feel so much pressure right now. And it used to be better a few weeks ago. I can just inspire myself with all the insights that I've already gathered and just remind myself, what could be the problem? Is it like a driver that kind of drives me? Or do I have a value collision right now? So it's very, very individual why we function the way we do and why we sometimes get out of the loop and don't function so super well. And in our app, you have everything kind of collected for you, just for yourself, of course, to check it and to inspire yourself over and over again, then to actually ensure a sustainable transfer into your everyday life, privately as much as professionally, of course. This all you do just by yourself and with the highest standards of data protection, of course. But then we want also a community to grow, a community of people who are self-aware, who kind of want to grow and want to implement and want the system to grow with them. And here we came up with the concept of community sessions. We want to coach the system much rather than just the top leadership. We want everyone to be empowered and to be speaking about their needs and thinking about it. So we want to grow together, inspire each other, and of course, we want to have a little fun while we do that. So with 1 hour per community session and always one focus topic, for example, resilience building or your values and the company values, we have just achieved that. And then we came up with a buddy program to also kind of establish deeper roots, a constantly growing network. We can reshuffle them. And by that, we gathered actually extremely interesting and very encouraging feedback all along the way. So what we did is actually we strengthened the employee attractiveness of trusted shops because suddenly they can really wholeheartedly say, your development is important to us, and that's why we give you a very individual tool for it. And generally, we wanted to promote a higher feedback culture, and we wanted to strengthen self-organizational skills within the team, within each one of them. We started our program 1.5 years ago, I think. And we started with a 3-month initial program highlighting resilience building with about 80 people, and we are now in the 3rd cohort, actually. We gathered extremely high ratings, like the community sessions are almost top ratings. People showed very, very high satisfaction. And I also, I think this is maybe a bit awkward for me to read this, but you can maybe read it afterwards when we sent you the presentations. People were generally extremely felt strengthened, they felt seen in their personal development needs, and they were very, very happy with all the things in our program that we offered them. We also gathered, and I think this has been proven, I think, by many of you as very, very interesting in our community sessions, which are with real coaches, sometimes me, for example, and some of our cohorts. We also identified potential multipliers because we see people who kind of talk a lot, who are very interested in the topics and who have kind of traveled a lot in our app itself. And then we kind of ask them, could you give us a feedback to inspire others? Can we use your feedback among your peers, for example, to inspire more people to join this movement? We saw that great, how do you start a leadership video last time with the dancing. And we do it, for example, with Chris Bell or with Simon. And we have a lot of coaches within the groups as well. And they loved it too. So overall, I think it was like a very, very successful implementation. And the newest project that we started now is even more individualized. So actually we start now with cohorts. In the beginning, we asked, what are your most pressing issues right now? We do a mentee vote with them, and then we design the journey as we go while they're traveling with Onesome, and we do exactly what they want us to do and what they want to exchange about. So that's it from my side and from Eve's side, generally speaking. And I don't know, like, I have no feeling for the time, but I don't know, maybe there are some questions or maybe you want to join our roundtable discussion. I'm super much looking forward to discussing with you. Thank you.